Everyone, this is Ginger and welcome to my live stream. For those of you who are unfamiliar with my live stream, what I like to do is to tell what's going on in my life and then touch up on a few news stories and tell my opinion on them. And then, hi, Phoenix Coaching. Yeah, so I like to tell what's going on in my life, touch up on a few news stories with my opinion on them, and then throw a little something extra at the end, which is going to be a geeky thing about the number 3 that I found out. Oh, hi, Amy. Hi. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do today, and I always keep a piece of paper with everything written down, or I will forget about it. First, I'd like to say a win for me, because in my last live stream, I talked about the case in Texas, which was an abortion case, which I did not talk about the abortion part, but a Supreme Court judge actually agreed with my opinion, because he was concerned that the law where people could turn people in could in the future be used for other laws where people would be turning people in for money. And yeah, he agreed with that was a dangerous part of the law. So yay, I had something right. Oh my. So today, first, what's going on in my life? Last night, well, I was a little wound up last night because I usually go for a long walk or exercise, and I didn't. So about 11 p.m., I became very full of energy. And I wish that I had people I could call for a big party, which, well, most of my friends would not show up at a party at 11 on a Sunday night. They have to get up for work the next day, so that wouldn't work. So I ended up turning up the music and having a dance party with my cat and playing with his rope for about an hour. Oh my, and luckily I don't have neighbors close enough to hear. My brother lives next door, but they can't hear that from here, so. Oh my. So that's what I was doing last night, but it was fun. A little unusual, but fun. So, okay, so for today, I came to Instagram earlier, and I had a message from someone I didn't know, and I don't really talk to people on Messenger I don't know, but I do always read the messages. So this is what was odd. Here, I want to make sure I say it right. The place was blank, where there was a picture, and it was taken out, and Instagram said, image is concealed to protect you from unwanted content. Okay, I'm kind of wondering if the person tried to send me a new photo or something, because I can't think of anything else. They did, that's pretty low class and not a good thing to do, especially to a woman you don't know. Yeah, so that would definitely not get my attention, just putting that out there, no new photos, but I couldn't think of anything else it could be that they would block the entire content. Who knows, though? Not saying that's what happened, but always a possibility. Okay. Now, this might be a little bit TMI. I don't know, but this is the first time in 2 weeks I have actually been able to wear my undergarment here. I know that sounds odd, but this is what happened. It was Friday, 2 days before Halloween, and I think I just strained the upper part of my back just a little bit from exercising or something, nothing major. So I thought to myself, well, I just put the heating pad on me for a few minutes. Well, the heating pad short-circuited and got extremely hot, so I took it off, and I wasn't thinking about it, but my chair is leather, and it actually holds and amplifies the heat, so when I laid back on it, it was searing pain, and it made a huge blister right in the center of the upper part of my back. It's like, ow, which I'm not, it sounds like I'm complaining about stuff. I'm really not. I'm in an extremely good mood today, but just telling people what happened. So I went through 2 whole weeks without even being able to dress properly because of that incident. But I had to go to town during that time because I was out of groceries. So what I did, I put on a shirt, and then I put on this huge cardigan. It's a red, chunky-looking cardigan, and I put that on. I looked real frumpy, but I didn't care because I had to have the food. I was out of eggs and stuff, so yeah. I measured 4th, even though I really couldn't dress up. But I'm back where I'm healed up finally, so that's what's happening there. And if anybody has any questions for me or any comments, feel free to ask any questions or make any comments during this live stream. Okay, so let's go to the news stories. Yay, I love the news stories. First, a happy one, the Free Britney. She was under the conservatorship, and she got that completely go. Oh, hello, James. Yeah, so I'm telling the news stories right now. And Britney got freed, which was great. And the bad thing about it is that I believe the majority of people goes through at least one time in their life where they're vulnerable. Something happens and they become vulnerable, And it's good if somebody's there at the time where they can just step in and help the person and protect them. But she didn't have that. She had wolves to jump in and take over her life, and then to end up stealing her money and use it for their own gains and just controlling her life for 15 years or so. Okay, I don't really know how to do the request to be done in the live video. I had a request to be on the live video, but I use a plugin, and I don't have the little things where I can hear. I'm going to have to fix that and figure out how to do that. I'm not very tech savvy, so I could talk, but I wouldn't be able to hear you. So, yeah, but maybe next time. I just have to figure out how to do it and get the right equipment before I can do that. But thank you for asking, so maybe next time. But, yeah, that's what I see about. But if you type any comments on, I can relay them. Yes, so that's what happened with the Free Britney. She really needed someone on her side, and we all go through vulnerable times. And, yeah, I don't blame her about being angry, and she seems to talk about maybe doing some type of criminal thing against her family. And I can't blame her on that because that was awful what they did to her. Okay, so, let's go to another positive story. I'm actually going to talk about a billionaire, Elon Musk. He actually has offered the United Nations $6 billion, with a B, dollars, if they could come up with a feasible plan for ending world hunger. I think that's pretty cool. But, yeah, I'm a very skeptical person, so when that large amount of money is involved, I'm always thinking about somebody taking the money, not all of it's not getting to where it belongs. I mean, I know there are administrative costs and stuff, but usually only a fraction of money gets to where it belongs. And sometimes people even do stuff along the lines of the country, you give them the money, but they keep the money and they don't feed the people. That has actually happened before. So there will have to be a very major plan in place for that money. And I don't blame them for wanting a plan. I would want something that if I gave $6 billion, I want to make sure it's going to the people and that the food was actually getting to the people. Yeah, and that's important. If more people everybody was honest, we would not have a world hunger situation. If people are generous and honest and helped each other, we wouldn't be in this situation where people are going hungry. It's the way I see it. But you can't change the world like that. Okay. Now this one, I'm going to read it off of here because I want to make sure I get it right. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. All right. During his speech at the 2021 National Conservatism Conference, Senator Josh Hawley, Hawley, said men are being drawn to things like pornography and video games because their manhood has been criticized. Okay, I think this is extremely faulty reasoning. Let me give you an example. Is he saying that the people in Sodom and Gomorrah, that Caligula, that the Marquis de Sade, and that the people who wrote the Kama Sutra all had their manhood questioned? Is that what he's saying? I mean, is he saying that all the boys back in the 1950s who took the Playboy magazine and hid them under their pillows had their manhood questioned? No. That is very false. Now, I don't believe anybody should question anyone's manhood or womanhood, and no one should criticize people in that or be mean and put people down. I do not believe that. But at the same time, you just can't go out and say, hey, people like pornography because their manhood was questioned. No. And you can't say that about the video games either. I have a niece that loves playing video games, and, well, she hadn't had her womanhood questioned. She just likes playing video games. So, yeah, that is very faulty reasoning on that part. You know, just look back in history since the beginning of time. Jeez. Okay. Now, if anybody has a news story they want me to comment, feel free to put it in the comments section. Okay. If not, I'm going to get into something a little geeky, but I thought it'd be interesting. Now, some of you may or may not remember, back a long time ago, we had a thing called Schoolhouse Rock. It's on Saturday mornings. People would, there'd be cartoons, but they have these special little cartoon commercials where they teach people stuff about the Constitution or things along those lines. Hello, Smith. Yeah, so people would teach people things along those lines. But they had one specific one where they had a little tune where they sung a song about 3 being the magic number. And at the time, you just didn't question stuff because we didn't have the internet back then. But, you know, just a thought filled my mind is like, why? Why is 3 a magic number? Okay. I can't say number 3 and something's going to pop up and happen. So why is 3 a magic number? Now, I know back already knew that back in ancient times, that a lot of cultures consider 3 to be sacred because they represented the spiritual. And in the Christian Bible, they actually use the number 3 to represent the Holy Trinity and a lot of different things. But it's just representing something. It's not magic in itself. So I thought, well, I'm going to the internet and I want to research stuff. So I did come up with something interesting, which doesn't make it magical, but it is interesting. People, their short-term memories can hold 3 ideals at a time, new stuff, that they can actually easily process to the long-term memories. But if you get to 4 or more, it becomes more difficult. The brain has to work harder. And if somebody's trying to argue a point and they make 3 points, you're more apt to believe them than if they make 4 or more points. They become more doubtful. People stop trusting them. Okay, and people use this number 3 in speeches, a lot of famous speeches, and a lot of advertisements. Of course, there's exceptions to the rules, but they use it a lot. So I'm going to give you some examples. Think of the Declaration of Independence, how it ends. It ends with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's 3 ideals, and it's very easy to remember. People remember it for centuries. Okay, now let's change it. Now see how this feels in your mind. If they had ended it this way, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the pursuit of wealth and love. Okay. How does that feel in your brain? Is it easy to remember? Does it feel right? Does it feel a little off when I said that? It probably does, because it's 5 things. But if you just say life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, it feels easy. It feels right. Now think of some other things, like Nike. Their slogan is, just do it. 3 words, just do it. Now, would that feel as good as saying, just do it to win? Now, you might still remember the phrase, just do it to win, but would it feel as comfortable to you? Would it be as easy? Okay. And the other one is, let's say, Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. Or Kit Kat bar. They use the word break 3 times. Give me a break, give me a break, break me up a piece of that. Kit Kat bar. They end it with 3, Kit Kat bar. It's just easier for the brain to process. Now, it doesn't make it magical, the number, but it does explain why people think that. Sometimes even decorating, you put things in groups of 3s. They do that in a lot of the, like China places. They like to put things in 3s because it just seems more aesthetic. So aesthetically pleasing, and it's easy to remember, and you keep it in your short-term memory. So they use it in a lot of famous speeches and in advertisements. So that maybe helps somebody if you need to write a speech, or you're trying to do an ad for something, or trying to get a point across. Remember, keep it to 3 items. Because if you go over 3, people become uncomfortable, and it's harder to process. So I hope that helps someone. Hello. Let's have new people join. Oh, yeah. That's me, too. The to-do list. I always keep a to-do list, that's for sure. Especially when this... All right, that's the main things I have on here. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask of me? This week is a full moon on Friday, which is going to be the beaver moon. In case anybody wondering, I'm not sure why it's called the beaver moon. Maybe you see the beavers more than they. I don't know, but it's called the beaver moon, and it's going to be this Friday. And I do like astronomy. I actually took a year of astronomy in college, because I like stars and I like the moon, and I got to look at them in the telescope, so that was really cool, definitely. And I picked the Pleiades, and I had to come in at 3 a.m. to look at them, and it was in winter in a telescope, and the teacher looked at me and said, you know, if you would have chosen this next semester instead, you could have done this at 8 o'clock at night. It's like, well, thanks for telling me now. But that was my project, and it was freezing in 3, but I looked at the telescope anyways, up at the star. Oh, but that's, so does anybody, before I go, have any type of questions or any comments on any of the stories, or like to know about any other news stories? Because I'm here to answer the questions. Okay, well, that seems to be it for today then, since nobody has any questions, and most of the news stories are like, right now, they're all kind of, yeah, upsetting news stories at the moment, so we just keep it short this week. So until next time, peace out, peace in, peace all around, and thank everybody for watching. Bye-bye.